How is pleural mesothelioma diagnosed? In this video, I'll walk you through some of the ways that doctors diagnose pleural mesothelioma, the specific tests that they might use, and then what you can expect during the process. This information could help you get answers faster and help you ask for the right test. Hi, I'm Deborah from Surviving Mesothelioma. We have helped over 18,000 mesothelioma patients understand their diagnoses for almost 20 years. So here's what a lot of patients don't realize. Getting the right diagnosis quickly is critical. Many patients can face delays or misdiagnoses because mesothelioma symptoms can look like other diseases. Getting second opinions can be very helpful. Today, I'll cover the 4 main steps that doctors may use to diagnose pleural mesothelioma, what each test involves, and then how to make sure that you're getting the most accurate diagnosis possible. Pleural mesothelioma is the cancer that grows in the membrane called the pleura that lines the wall of your chest and lungs. If doctors suspect pleural mesothelioma, the first step that they usually take is to gather your medical history and do a physical examination. But what exactly does this involve? So your doctor will take a detailed medical history, and some might focus on any asbestos exposure you might have had. This includes asking about your work history, where you lived, military service, and any known asbestos exposure. And why is this so important? Asbestos is the cause of mesothelioma. So this history helps doctors know what to look for. Studies show that occupational and environmental exposure to asbestos is the critical risk factor for mesothelioma development. So during the physical examination, doctor will listen to your lungs, check for fluid buildup, and feel for any lumps or masses. They're looking for signs like decreased breath might indicate fluid around the lungs or chest wall masses. The second step involves imaging tests to look inside your body and spot potential problems. Doctors use chest x-rays, CT scans, MRIs, sometimes PET scans to create detailed pictures of your chest and abdomen. These tests help them see what's happening inside your body. But why are these tests so important? Okay, these imaging studies can show pleural thickening, fluid buildup around the lungs, or masses that may indicate mesothelioma. But here's what many patients don't know. Early stage mesothelioma might not show up clearly on a regular chest x-ray. That is why doctors often need more advanced imaging. So here's how these tests work. A chest x-ray is usually the first test, but it may only show abnormalities in more advanced cases. CT scans are usually the most helpful because they give detailed pictures of the chest and can spot abnormalities that x-rays miss. These scans can reveal pleural effusions, which is fluid buildup around the lungs, pleural thickening, or masses that may suggest cancer. MRI scans provide even more detailed images. It can help determine if the cancer has spread to nearby structures, and then PET scans help doctors see if the cancer has spread to other parts of the body by showing areas of increased metabolic activity. The key thing to understand is that imaging studies play an essential role in the diagnostic process, but they can't definitively diagnose mesothelioma by themselves. They guide doctors to the next step, which is getting tissue samples. The third step involves blood tests that can support the diagnoses, though, again, they can't diagnose mesothelioma by themselves. Doctors can order blood tests that measure specific proteins like mesothelin, osteopontin, and fibulin 3. Now, these proteins are often found in higher levels in people with mesothelioma. But why do these tests matter? These tests can't diagnose mesothelioma by themselves, but they provide additional evidence to support the diagnoses. Elevated levels of these proteins may suggest mesothelioma, but they can also be elevated in other conditions. Research shows that certain biomarkers like mesothelin and soluble mesothelin-related peptides have shown promise in early detection, though they're not standalone diagnostic tools. So here's how these tests work. These are simple blood draws that measure proteins often found at higher levels in mesothelioma patients. For pleural mesothelioma, doctors look for soluble mesothelin-related peptides, or SMRP. This is a fragment of the mesothelin protein that is often elevated in people with pleural mesothelioma. Osteopontin is another protein that may be elevated. The important thing to understand is that doctors often use a combination of these markers together rather than relying on just one. Elevated levels of multiple markers together may provide stronger evidence, but the diagnosis still needs to be confirmed with tissue samples. The fourth step is the most important for getting the definitive diagnosis, and this involves getting tissue samples through a biopsy, but not all biopsies are the same. Doctors need to get actual tissue samples through procedures like thoracoscopy, needle biopsy, or surgical biopsy. These procedures allow them to collect cells or tissue that can be examined under a microscope. Why is this step so important? It is the only way to definitively confirm mesothelioma. Studies show that thoracoscopy has higher sensitivity for diagnosing malignant pleural effusions compared to just removing fluid without a proper biopsy. Doctors might misdiagnose mesothelioma as lung cancer or other diseases. Here's how the different biopsy procedures work. A thoracoscopy, also called VATS or video-assisted thoracic surgery, involves inserting a thin camera through a small incision in the chest wall. This allows doctors to directly see the pleura and to take targeted tissue samples from any suspicious areas. This procedure gives doctors the best view of what is happening and allows them to collect the most accurate samples. A needle biopsy uses imaging guidance like CT scans to guide a needle through the chest wall into the pleural space and collect tissue samples. This is less invasive than the thoracoscopy, but it may not always provide enough tissue for a complete diagnosis. And then lastly, a surgical biopsy, including making a larger incision to access affected areas directly and remove larger tissue samples. This is more invasive, but it can provide larger samples when other methods don't give enough information. Once the tissue is collected, it goes to a pathologist who examines it under a microscope, and they look for characteristic features of mesothelioma cells, and they use special stains called immunohistochemistry to distinguish mesothelioma from the other cancers like lung, adenocarcinoma. One thing that's really important to know is that getting an accurate diagnosis often requires multidisciplinary team approaches. So research shows that discussing cases in specialized settings can lead to better diagnostic accuracy and treatment planning. So if you suspect mesothelioma, it is worth seeking out doctors and academic medical centers that specialize in this disease. The diagnostic process can feel overwhelming, but understanding what to expect can help you be a better advocate for yourself or your family. And remember, an accurate diagnosis is the foundation for getting the best possible treatment. So if you want to learn exactly what Paul Kraus did to survive mesothelioma for over 27 years after his diagnosis, click the link in the description and get his book, Surviving Mesothelioma, shipped free to your door overnight. Paul's book contains all of the survival secrets that kept him alive without chemotherapy, radiation, or surgery. And it could help you or your loved one navigate this journey. Or if you want to see how second opinions can help, click the video on screen now about mesothelioma treatment options, or click the second link in the description.